Ever wonder how someone could build something like this for van life? I'll tell you how, by going on a budget. Now, obviously that's not completely true because you could have a budget of $10,000 or $300,000. But we're here for those of you who want to get into van life on a modest budget and save money for the road. With over 5 years of living the van life and way too many van tours to count, we know a thing or two and we want to pass it on to you. That's why we're going to go over some tips and some ideas on how you can stay on a budget to save money for the road. So first up, we're going to give you some simple tips to stay on a budget. Then we're going to look at some inventive ways that van lifers that we've toured have saved money on their build. The first tip sounds a little bit backwards to saving money, but hear me out. Go rent a van. If you haven't yet experienced van life and you want to get into van life, the best thing you can do is rent a van from a van rental company and go experience it. Go camping, go on a trip, go wherever you want. Once you experience it, you'll know what you like, you know what you don't like, you'll know what you like on the inside of the build, what you need, what you don't. You'll save a lot of money on the long run this way. Plan your setup with cardboard. If you have your vehicle and you're getting an idea of what you want the build to look like on the inside, take all those Amazon boxes that you get and cut them and make your cabinets, make your countertop, get a feel for what it's like in there. Once you know exactly what you want on the inside and how it's going to be built, you're going to save money in materials. Use apps like Kijiji or Craigslist. Now, here in Canada, we have Kijiji, and that's where we found our stove and our oven combo. We found some of our fans, stuff like that. You'll save money by getting stuff secondhand. Go to the Restore. It's basically a thrift shop. You can find tools there, you can find building materials, you can find couches even, cabinets. Go there, you'll save some money, and you might be surprised on what you can find to use for your build. Borrow tools from a tool library. Tools are pretty expensive when building a van. If you don't already have them, you kind of have to factor that cost into building the van. But if you can borrow tools from, say, a tool library, where it's like renting them out like any library card for a book, you can borrow those tools at basically zero cost, and that way you'll save a lot of money on those more expensive tools. Post on community groups. The biggest thing when building a van is having questions, and community groups are so helpful. People have gone through the exact same thing you have, and posting on there and asking your questions will go a long way in not screwing something up and having to redo it. This one's a bit contentious, but I'd say if you want to stay on a budget, get a gas vehicle. Diesels are pretty sought after. We personally love diesels for our vehicles. But the thing is, they don't actually save you money in the long run. They are more expensive to maintain. And nowadays here in Canada, the diesel is more expensive than gas itself. It does get you further, but the best thing you can do if you're just starting off in van life is get a gas vehicle. They're cheaper to maintain and they're cheaper on gas at the moment. And the last one is you don't need as much as you think. All the Instagram van lifers, all the YouTube van lifers out there are gonna tell you you need the most expensive and the best. You don't, you really don't. Going back to our tip number one and going and experiencing renting a van, you'll find that you don't use that really expensive thing that's in the corner over there or that. You'll figure it out. You don't need everything that you're told you do. Now that we've gone over our simple tips, we're going to take a look at 3 builds and how they have saved money. First up is Francois. He actually produced a skill of sewing during his van build. That way he could make most of the things he needed, and it actually earned him money along the way. Also, keep an eye out for things that he saved money on, like his faucet, his pump, and also his fridge.
This is the desk/studio. It comes out and it locks in place for when I'm sewing, and then all the kitchen needs. Get the plates, cutlery, spices, knickknacks, bathroom stuff. Yeah, it's a bathroom vanity as well, so it's kind of an all-in-one unit. The sink is powered with the marine foot pump, and I went with the undermount, overmount sink. Just making it work. And this tap, I proudly only paid $1 for. Just gotta make it work. Just gotta make it work. And this is actually my fridge, which is a freebie from the grocery store. Got a little ice pack in there and everything.
Next up is Gerard and Roxanne. They actually built their home out of an ex-ambulance, and all the materials inside for all the siding and cabinets was done with wood from a local who was getting rid of pallets and old wood that he had.
Hi, my name is Gerald.
Hi, my name is Roxanne, and we've got 3 dogs with us, Texas, Jack, and Neighbor.
And this is our house.
We spent just the 6 months in a hut in the wood, and then it was about in February or March, something like that, we start telling people there we want to find a van. Then someone told us it's great, the town is just selling the old ambulance, and we had to leave the hut 3 weeks later. So we said, okay, we just have 3 weeks to make it a home. Everything goes like as it was written. Someone told us, I have wood as you want. People in this little town said, I've got the tools for you, you need, and you can stay by me and, plug by me. And so we made it in 3 weeks. Yeah, amazing. It's possible.
Yeah, amazing. Last up is Nikki and Connor, where they reused old items for multiple uses, which is pretty important in van life. And they also run their entire setup off of a single Jackery battery. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
I'm Connor, and we're from London, Ontario.
And this is our 08 Sprinter Big Blue. Down here we have an ottoman, so if you do have extra guests, they can use this as a seat, but as everything with the van, it doubles for extra storage. So this has all our games and kind of arts and crafts in there, and that just slides right in there. Up here we have our electrical system, which is a Jackery Power Box 500, which are very popular in the van life community. But this box we actually have powering our entire system. So it charges our lights, it charges our fantastic fan, it charges our fridge, and all our devices such as our phones and our batteries and whatnot.
As you can see, there's a ton of ways to budget in van life, but the best and most important advice I can give you for your build is just stick to that budget. It's so easy to get carried away and buy things that you don't really need but you really want. But if you can stick to that budget, you're gonna save a lot of money and you'll have more money for the long term to stay on the road longer. That's it for this week. If you haven't yet seen our video on really cool van life ideas, make sure you do, because there's some great ideas that may go along with this budget build. Until next time, safe travels.